Hello students, I am Pushprata Miss. Welcome to my channel. I hope you all are safe at home. Stay home and stay safe. Let us discuss our 8th chapter, the first empire, the Mauryas. We have learned about Janapadas and Mahajanapadas. In Mahajanapada or a kingdom, the ruler had control over a smaller area, whereas an empire brings a number of kingdoms or Mahajanapadas under one ruler. An empire and a kingdom were different for the following reasons. Empires were larger than kingdoms and were to be protected by big armies. Empires needed more resources than kingdoms. And empires also needed a larger number of officials to collect taxes in order to meet the administrative expenses. Then emerging dynasty. Dynasty means members of the same family ruling one after another. Among the Mahajanapadas of the North India, Magadha emerged as the most powerful of all. The empire of Magadha was established under a dynasty, when members of the same family become rulers one after another. The family is called a dynasty. This dynasty, which established Magadha as the first ever empire in the history of India, is known as Mauryan dynasty. Next, Alexander's invasion. In about 326 BCE, Alexander, the ruler of Macedonia, attacked northwestern India. Magadha was then ruled by Dhanananda, the son and successor of Mahapadma Nanda. Alexander's soldiers might have heard the tales of the might of the Magadhan army. Hence, they refused to advance further than Beas River. Alexander then decided to retreat but left his Greek governors behind to rule the conquered territories. It was this invasion by Alexander which resulted in the downfall of the Nandas and rise of the Mauryas. Next, sources. There are two main books that serve as sources of information on the Mauryas. These are Indica and Indica by Megasthenes. It is an account of his experiences in India. It tells about the political, social and economic conditions of the people during that period. Second, Arthashastra by Kautilya. It is a treatise on how a government should function. Besides these two books, the Rock and Pillar Edicts, means royal orders, also act as important sources. These edicts were royal orders or proclamations. Next, the Mauryan emperors. Chandragupta Maurya, first one, 321 BCE to 297 BCE. Dhanananda, the king of Magadha, had a large and powerful army. However, he was not popular among his subjects. Chandragupta, a young and ambitious warrior from Magadha, turned this to his advantages. With the support of his chief advisor Chanakya, a wise Brahmin scholar, Chandragupta overthrew Dhanananda, who was the last Nanda ruler. He established control over Magadha, built one of the greatest empires of ancient India and became the founder of the Mauryan Empire. Means Chandragupta Maurya was a founder of the Mauryan Empire. Then he also defeated Seleucus Nicator, a general of the Greek king Alexander. Seleucus gave his daughter in marriage to Chandragupta and sent Megasthenes as an ambassador to his court. Thereafter, he strengthened the control over other parts of northern India with the help of wise advisors in his court, such as Greek general Megasthenes and Chanakya were the who was also known as Kautilya or Vishnugupta. Chandragupta Maurya spread his control and empire far and wide. He conquered Afghanistan. Chandragupta Maurya conquered the places Afghanistan, Balochistan and the areas west of Indus. He also conquered many territories in the south, thus extending his empire up to the Deccan. The vast empire under Chandragupta's control stretched from Hindu Kush in the northwest to Bengal in the east and from the Himalayas in the north to the Narmada in the south. He gave up his throne in 297 BCE and became a Jain monk. Next, Bindusara, 297 BCE to 273 BCE. Chandragupta was succeeded by his son Bindusara. He also extended the Mauryan Empire by annexing territories reaching up to present-day Karnataka. Only few parts of South India and Kalinga were not part of the Mauryan Empire. After his death, 273 BCE means after Bindusara's death, he was succeeded by his son Ashoka. Next, Ashoka. Ashoka was ruled 273 BCE to 232 BCE. Emperor Ashoka is remembered as one of the greatest ruler of India. Ashoka was the greatest ruler of India. The Mauryan Empire reached the peak of its glory under his rule. He governed his kingdom effectively. His numerous rock and pillar edicts spread over a large part of India give invaluable information about this great ruler. Then Ashoka's empire. Ashoka's empire stretched from the Himalayas, Nepal and Kashmir in the north to Mysore in the south, from Afghanistan in the northeast to the banks of the river Brahmaputra in the east. In the west, his territory covered Saurashtra and Junagadh. There were several prosperous cities in the empire, including the capital city, Pataliputra, and the trade centers such as Taxila and Ujjain. The areas such as central India, which were covered with forest, were occupied by farmers and herders to earn their livelihood. They used to gather forest produce and hunt animals for food. People living in different parts of this vast empire spoke different languages, had different kinds of food, and wore different kinds of clothes. Ashoka and the Kalinga War, 261 BC. The Kalinga War is among the most famous wars fought by Ashoka. Kalinga is the ancient name of the coastal state of Orissa, present-day Odisha. He attacked Kalinga for two reasons. Ashoka's father Bindusara had previously attempted to win over Kalinga, but he had failed. Then second, Kalinga was a rich and prosperous kingdom with fertile lands, access to sea and land routes to South India and Southeast Asia, and a huge army which Ashoka wanted to win over. Ashoka waged a battle and became successful in conquering Kalinga after a savage war. About 100,000 people were captured and more than 100,000 were killed in the Kalinga War. The bloody scenes of war and its consequences changed Ashoka's view on war. The wailing widows and cries of orphan children kept haunting him, and he decided to give up fighting because he was horrified at the bloodbath that he had created. Then, after conquering Kalinga, Ashoka stopped the expansion of his empire by war and concentrated on spreading Buddhism. He is the only king in the history of the world who gave up war and adopted the path of peaceful conquest. Ashoka called this the Dhamma Vijaya. He inscribed a message for his son and grandson, urging them to give up war and think of methods of spreading the Dhamma. Ashoka's reign brought prosperity and harmony to his sovereigns. Next, Ashoka's Dhamma. Dhamma in Sanskrit means Dharma, which literally means religious duty. For Ashoka, it meant the right way. Ashoka's Dhamma was not related to the worship of any god or performance of sacrifice. Performance of God or performance of sacrifice. It was a code of conduct inspired by Buddha's teachings. He advocated non-violence, compassion, and peace, but never forced his ideas on his subjects. He respected all religions, and the edict set up by Ashoka explained the Dhamma. These inscriptions carry the following messages to these people. First one, be tolerant of all religions and love one another. Second, live in peace and harmony with one another. Next, follow the path of non-violence and do not harm any living thing. Next, be kind to all, including poor and servants. Obey and respect elders and practice charity towards the poor. As a part of Dhamma, he performed various welfare activities also. He built roads and planted trees on both sides of these roads for shade. He got wells dug and rest houses made for travelers to quench their thirst and rest. He got hospitals made for humans as well as animals. He looked after his people and their well-being. Okay students, we will continue next topic in the next session.